dos ambientalistas mais famosos do mundo. Passa cerca de 10 meses por ano viajando e documentando a vida selvagem e as espécies ameaçadas de extinção. Seus programas de TV são exibidos em mais de 70 países, inclusive no Brasil. O nosso convidado do Veja Entrevista é Jeff Corwin. Jeff, todo mundo conversa com você sobre meio ambiente e animais ameaçados, mas você também é um experiente viajante e um curioso conhecedor de gastronomia. Qual foi o prato mais esquisito que você já comeu em suas viagens?
One of my great loves is to experience culture through the food that people eat. And we have eaten everything from hormigas, these ants, they call escamole. In Mexico, they actually go to these cactus and they harvest these ant eggs. Sometimes they call it the ant caviar. We've traveled to Thailand and we've eaten actually shrimp so fresh that when you eat it, it's actually alive in your mouth and jumping. But the only thing that I had problem at all eating was actually cactus. Well, in Mexico, they make it's called nepales, and it's a cactus, and if it's prepared in a certain way, it's very slimy and gooey in your mouth and has a very strange texture. For some reason, I couldn't swallow it. So it's right here, and the woman's like going, eat, comida, comida. I'm like, it goes down, it just wants to come up.
Qual foi seu momento favorito entre os animais?
My most favorite moments is when I feel like I'm not there, when I feel like I'm the fly on the wall, and you get to witness incredible moments of natural, genuine behavior. For me, an incredible moment was being in Manaus, working with this great conservation group that works in Manaus. They had rescued these baby Amazon manatees. Oftentimes, the adults, they were killed for the meat, and the babies were left orphaned. And I just remembered holding this baby manatee, bottle feeding it, trying to get it to that moment where it would survive, was, to me, humbling. To be able to tell the story of how these people in Manaus are fighting to save the rainforest that's disappearing. Every moment when I'm with an animal, either good or bad, I remind myself that this was my dream. When I was a child, living in an apartment building in the city, praying that someday I would live with nature, and then I look at myself and as an adult, I'm in Brazil, or I'm in Africa, or Madagascar, or I'm with a scientist discovering a new species of life. I remind myself that this was the dream I wanted.
Viagens ecológicas estão na moda, seja acampando ou indo para safaris caríssimos. Que dicas você dá para quem nunca fez esse tipo de viagem?
Well, I think you touch on something very important. We have this, it's almost to me like a disease today, where people are losing their connection to nature. For example, here we are in Sao Paulo, one of the most populated cities in South America. And right outside this city, the walls of this metropolis, is some of the most biologically important forest on earth. And how many people in Sao Paulo will make that connection with nature? It's called nature deficit disorder. And I think if you look at many of the problems that people around the world are experiencing today, especially amongst children, obesity, attention deficit disorder, these are not uniquely American problems. All around the world, kids today are connected to computers, to television, to the internet. They no longer are connected to nature. So my response to you is, you don't need a fancy expedition. You don't need to go on an expensive safari. You need to go in your own backyard. You are so blessed when it comes to natural resources. There are many affordable, accessible ways for people to get to nature, but you can't connect to nature if you don't motivate yourself. There are a million reasons not to go. There are a million excuses. I'm too busy today. There's so many things to do. But you do your children a disservice. You're punishing your children if you don't get them out to nature.
What are the 3 items that you always take with you in your trips?
My running shoes, my sneakers, because I love to run, Ziploc bags, because Ziploc bags save everything. They keep your clothing dry. If I'm collecting specimens in the field, they're good for protecting and for scientific research. And I'd probably say my computer, because my computer is my link to my family.
Se você tivesse dinheiro para visitar apenas um destino ecológico no mundo, qual seria e por quê?
Where do you think it would be? You guess.
I don't know.
Probably the Amazon or... I've been to the Amazon a lot.
Yeah.
Probably Paris. I love Paris. Have you ever been to Paris?
Yes.
Then you know why. I don't need to explain. It's the city for lovers. It's the city for people who love to eat great food and drink great wine. I'm passionate about nature, but it's also my job. I love a beautiful city, and to me, there's nothing more beautiful, more ancient, more delicious, more romantic than Paris.
Mas afinal, onde é que você passa férias?
At home. And I live in a very special place. I live in a little 22-acre island, about a mile off the coast. I love to wake up and see the sunrise over the bay, go out with my daughters, we dig for clams or look for langosta or lobster. I love my community where I live. And the toughest thing when you're on the road is being away from your family. So when I come home, for me, the ultimate vacation, the ultimate holiday is to stay at home with the family, invite some friends over, do some fishing, cook a nice big fish, drink a great bottle of wine, spend the day with the kids. That to me is heaven.
Nós conversamos com Jeff Corwin, a estrela dos programas de vida selvagem. Assista a outras entrevistas no site de Veja. O endereço é veja.com.br/vídeos.